Best behaviors now, because I don't want to get banned on YouTube. All right, cool. You know, the Matrix attacking and all. So, yo, right, best perspectives with everything
no filter
to intermediate to elite. Feel me? So I actually want to go ahead and start breaking that down. Now, you guys have both previously on Money Heist kind of told your backstories of why you got into trading, right? Whether it was family, just the freedom, you know, the outcome or the perspective you guys had with the, you know, money that could be done. But I wanted to go ahead and, you know, being now so versed in the game, and not just in the game, but also having a specialty, which is, you know, having that one pair. A lot of people were told, you know, you want to go ahead and know a certain pair or certain types, but I feel like a lot of people, especially in the beginning, they're just so quick to trade anything from majors to minors to commodities and then indices. You know, I want to go ahead and just talk about that. You know, what you've gone ahead and just, what surprised you the most? Let's start off with that. Within your first, how far I've been trading so far, and then what led you to trading that specific currency. So, Miss Cruz, we did have you on most recently, so we're gonna have Montanero go. If that's cool with y'all.
Let's get it. I can't wait to hear Montero speak.
Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. So, sis, please.
Yeah. So I would say one of the greatest challenges that I really want to spotlight real quick, coming into this space is trading in the charts really reflects who you are as a person. Like, my God, like if you don't have that friend in your pocket to call you out on your bullshit, the charts will do that for you. And so I realized that the markets really are a reflection of you, in a sense of if you're someone who's money hungry, right, you're going to over leverage and probably get, you know, your butt kicked. If you're someone who's a little bit shy and lacks confidence, you know, you're going to under leverage, or you're going to hesitate, right? You're not going to pull the trigger, even though you might have the setup, right? You might have your confirmations, everything's there, everything's checked off, but your confidence isn't there. And so, you know, that could lead to issues, right? And so the biggest thing that I realized, I've been trading, I would say, smart money almost a year, actually. Wow, damn, September was Arizona convention. So I'm almost at my 1 year mark with smart money. That's awesome. That's crazy.
That's crazy. 1 year. That's it.
So yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing that has really helped me, you know, become not only a better trader, but you got to become a better person, right? A better sister, a better girlfriend, right? A better, just every relationship in your life, and most importantly, your relationship with money, right? That also is another factor that is eye-opening, that the charts will expose you in that too. So it's been a crazy journey, a crazy journey. But along that journey, I realized, you know, kind of what pair works for me best, because in my trading plan, I documented all my trades. Ever since, you know, a year ago, everything was documented. Shout out to Caesar for putting me on that trading plan way back when, and I stuck with it, right? So I was able to go back and see, okay, like, you know, Forex pairs, I did that for like a week. I wasn't feeling it. I was just straight to indices. And then from indices, I traded US30, SPX, I traded golds, and I realized NAS100 was my highest success rate. So I was like, okay, there's something about this pair that clearly I like. And I started to realize that NAS100, she makes beautiful Wyckoff patterns, and I started to see it more easily every single time. And slowly but surely, you know, I just kind of gravitated towards NAS100. I never looked back. So that's why I made that trading Instagram, because I was like, wait, my nickname is Nas100. I can like make this a thing. So shout out to Vargas for that idea. He gave me that little title, and I made that trading Instagram. And
shout out Vargas. Let's go. Shout out Vargas. We had him, dude. Was it last 2 weeks ago? We had him. We're gonna have to do like a power couple one, I think, sometime at some point. But sheesh, man, the NAS queen has spoken. Now we want to hear from the US30 queen. Let's hear what you got.
Is up. Oh my gosh. First of all, me and Montero, we have a very similar story. I mean, honestly, when I first joined the team that I was with, when I first met Montero, it was just amazing, because I got to experience her finding these things out firsthand. Like, I was watching her figure out smart money. I was watching her figure out how to get funded. So when I joined, I was within the midst of all that hype, and it really attracted me. So before I even get into why I trade US30 and what it is that got me like so committed to my girl, honestly, one of the biggest lessons I had to really like reflect on this year was not only when I lost my funded just because of, you know, not following a trading plan, not being consistent, and honestly, like Montero said earlier, being disciplined, not only on the charts, but within myself. I really had to do a lot of reflecting this year, right? Nadia, what are you like? Where are you lacking? Because honestly, it's really hard for people to point out where you lack. It's always good to like, you know, like, okay, we're always gonna pick on ourselves, but we're never gonna be honest with ourselves about why it is that we do the things that we do and why we are the way we are. So I really needed to reflect and kind of just see, okay, what are my bad habits? Where is my energy going where it doesn't belong? Where am I allowing toxic behaviors into my life, into my personal life, my family life, my work life? And then why was why was I allowing that to reflect on the charts? That was one of the biggest things. And I really just had to reflect, cleanse, and just learn that I'm not perfect, but I can really work every single day to be the best version of myself so that I can be the best trader. And it's a lot of shadow work. It's a lot of being real with yourself. It's a lot of calling yourself out. Like Montero said, you know, if you don't have that best friend on your phone to like call you out on your shit, the charts will call you out. Like they will tell you, you are greedy. You're greedy. You are cocky. You're too cocky. You don't know what you're doing. Like that's literally what US30 will tell you. Like no joke. US30 told me that today. She was like, girl, stop playing.
He said,
But
sit down.
yeah, I was like, damn girl. I was like, shh, like you can't let me just be for a minute. No, but at the end of the day, I needed that. And I needed to be able to take that into consideration when it came to being the best version of myself. So when it does come to US30, man, I love her. That's my baby. Again, when I first joined, I joined during the middle of a campaign. It was called Market Watch, which pretty much it was an indices focused campaign. Everyone was getting together and trading NAS, and they were trading US30. And while everyone was going towards NAS, I heard little things about US30, and then I would hear things about news in US30, and about like people would mention the Federal Reserve, and like guys, like don't even laugh. No, you know what? Laugh. Drop some laughing emojis because I said, what is the Federal Reserve? I am a makeup artist, y'all. I was not, I'm gonna keep it G. I was so like oblivious to the real world. Like that's just what it was. And that was another thing that I needed to reflect on. But once I heard about the way that you can profit from the economy, from news, of course, granted, I wanted to learn and I dove in. And once I saw the impact that news had specifically on US30, I was hooked. When you're catching like 400, 500, 600 pips, you're like, dude, this is sick. I could do this for the rest of my life. But again, a lot of it came down to, was I really ready for 400 to 500 pips? Probably not. Like that probably wasn't something, no, not probably. That was something I couldn't handle at the time. And it did kind of like create a toxic relationship. So when it comes to US30, we're kind of dating each other again. We're getting to know each other. Okay. We're like, we went to couples therapy and now we're like, we're just trying it out again. You know, we're giving it another chance.
Hey yo, hey yo. Nah, that's crazy. She said couples therapy. That's wild, man. I think a lot of people need that. You know, you said a lot of you both said a lot of amazing things that I kind of want to touch on. You know, you said the markets will humble you, right? Especially if you don't have people around you that are self-aware, because I feel like when you surround yourself with people who are self-aware, they're able to basically pinpoint your blind sides, like your your blind sides, right? Because there's shit that we're not aware of that we do unconsciously that other people are like, yo, motherfucker, why are you doing this? And then you're like, oh my God, I didn't even know I was doing this. So shout out to, you know, your trading partners, trading communities, because they're keeping you accountable. And I want to touch on something that I think is kind of, I guess, controversy. I guess, I don't know, not really, but like being in a male dominated industry, like right now, Nadia's like, oh man, we ready. You know, I think honestly, I think women are more intuitive than men, right? I think men tend to be more egotistical. I know, see, you can definitely back me with that, but I think women are more intuitive. maybe a little more emotional, but that's okay, right? But I don't think, emotions is a bad thing. I think emotions is a good thing. And a lot of people always say, yo, in trading, you got to be a robot, blah, blah, blah. You got to have no feelings, but that shit's impossible. Like, we have feelings, we're human beings, and I think the more you're able to feel without becoming your emotions, and use feelings and emotions as like indicators, just how we use indicators, I guess, are things that in the market, you want to use your emotions as well as indicators. So kind of guide us through like how you guys are able to, I guess, overcome your emotions and your trading psychology. I know you guys talked about having accountability partners. Nadia talked about journaling, so what are things that has helped you guys along your journey to develop your trading psychology? Either one can go first.
Russian roulette.
Rock, paper, scissors, whatever.
I muted myself first, so I'll go first. Like I said in the chat, emotional intelligence is key, right? You have to be very aware of your emotions and why you're feeling those emotions. If you are emotionally attached to the money that's in your account, don't trade. Don't trade. Like, yeah, see, don't trade. And it's true. Like, I hosted a call for the Girls Who Trade community one time, and I created this whole PowerPoint. And in one of the slides, I discussed about how if you're attached, so okay, I'm a single mom, right? So let's say I have $100 and I have the option to either go buy my son a box of diapers so he has for next week, or funding a live account. Probably don't do that. If you need those $100, don't do that. If you have money in your trading account and you're like, but I need that, I'm going to get that back, or the market is going to multiply that, don't trade. That's not the way to go. So being aware of where those emotions are coming from, usually they're coming from attachments to money. Usually a lot of it has to do with inner work, right? Like Montero mentioned earlier, self-esteem. If you're shy, if you lack confidence, you're gonna, under leverage when you're trading. But if you're very cocky and your ego is huge, you're gonna be over leveraging like crazy, like no tomorrow. Because at one point when I was trading US30, and I think I passed phase one with one trade, I was like, I got this in the bag. Yeah. And I was like, I got this in the bag. But then guess what? I got cocky. I let my ego get big. So what happened? Those emotions got in the way. I was trading out of control and I lost my funded. That's what happens. Like, it's not easy, and you're not always going to be right. But pretty much just emotional intelligence. And then, yeah, like I just started journaling my trades. I've been trading for about a year and some change now. I just started journaling and just started really implementing more trading psychology into my trades. Honestly, just a lot of books, a lot of research, keep diving deep into yourself, working on who you want to be as a person so that you can become the trader you want to be as well.
Fire. And it's exactly that. I mean, because at the end of the day, we could always go ahead and keep trading after a winning streak, losing streak, and neglect the emotional side of it. And I think that's what a lot of traders tend to do in the beginning. They'll go ahead, I won my first trade, won my first $100, $1,000. I know exactly what I'm doing now, not realizing it was just the calmness of the confirmations in the moment. Or if they're on a losing streak, they're not realizing that it's in the moment of FOMOing, over leveraging, trying to revenge trade, but they're just saying, oh, it's just a bad week. Like, it is what it is, but I think it's really just dope to see how self-in-tune you guys are, especially, being so early or so new, air quotes, in the game. Because I remember year two, I was still saying, man, this trade shit is hard. None of these confirmations work, when no, the work works. I didn't work, feel me? So it really just goes to show, like, you guys genuinely know exactly what you're talking about, because you could have easily said, oh, well, indices this, US30 that, trading is easy, but it's generally right. Trading is literally 10% charts and then 90 EQ. So no, it's exactly that. And it's really dope to see. Ms. Montanaro, thoughts, please, comments.
All right, so that was fire. Everything that Cruz said was absolutely fire. I agree, retweet. She handled that, because I agree with everything. I'm gonna take a little curve here.
You said
I want to address what you said, Kev, before, where you said, like, how does it feel to be in a male dominated industry?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so that's what I want to talk about. So firsthand, okay, I'm sure Cruz can relate to this. I experienced this firsthand multiple times. Let her cook. That's right. That's right. See, he knows what's up. I experienced this multiple times. And in the beginning, you know, I was in this chat, trading chat, whatever, and it was all guys. All guys. I was in there. And my boy Will, he was like, oh, you know, I'll add you to the chat. Feel free to just, you know, drop your trades. And at the time I was kind of new, so I wasn't really that confident, whatever, whatever. And then slowly I started putting the work, right? I started to study, started to back test. My trades started to hit more and more, became more disciplined, right? So I was like, let me drop a trade. Let me drop a chart, you know, let me just drop in the chat. And I dropped in the chat, and I shit you not, everyone, like all the guys were like, oh no, that's wrong, like it's a short, it's not a buy, don't listen to her, like, yeah, like aggressive. And again, like I have two brothers, you know, I'm not going to get hurt, but you know, in the beginning of your trading journey, you're kind of like, oh damn, you know, like I'm already not as confident, and now I have a whole chat of males coming at me saying I'm wrong. Obviously you're going to question yourself, right? But it was right. My analysis was correct. And so a few hours later, silence, like no one said anything. And fast forward, you know, so I was like, you know what, like, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. So I started dropping my charts in the chats, you know, some would hit, some wouldn't, whatever, whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, I realized a lot of them still were not even acknowledging it until I finally did a call, right? Will asked me to do a call for the whole entire squad. And finally, everyone was like, oh, wow. Like the whole chat was just positive, positive, positive. Oh my God, Wyckoff. What is Wyckoff? This is crazy. This shit works. Yada, yada, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, I've been telling you, I've been saying it. So that's like my firsthand experience, and obviously other experiences as well. But I think the biggest thing is, you know, it's understandable that this industry is dominated by males. I mean, I get it. You know, it's not makeup, it's not beauty pageants, it's trading. Okay, I get it. The stigma is males. However, you know, seeing very few females in this industry now motivates me even more, because now I'm very confident in my edge because I put in the work for months and hours, and you cannot take that away from me. Yes, I am a female, but that does not take away my results. That does not take away all the hard work that I did. So now I think it's a matter of slowly introducing, you know, females can do this. Females can trade. Hi, surprise, like we can trade. You know, so again, it just goes back to confidence. It goes back to just how you walk, how you talk, but because you put in the work, right? You can't just talk and you didn't do any of the work. So that's like my take on that.
Period. I can't wait to see you guys on the leaderboards, like all these running up all these prop firms. See you guys really leading the wave for all these females, man. Because I mean, trading isn't the sexiest thing, I guess, when it like for females, because it's not like you said. Most traditional women, I guess, I don't want to say traditional women, but like most women would rather gravitate towards like makeup and shit like that. But you guys are like really just redefining, you know, the standards for women in these industries and just disrupting that pattern. Oh, you guys are going crazy and shit. Oh man. But yeah, I'm excited to see, because you guys are really new as well in the game. So like seeing your growth the last year, both of you guys, has been unreal. And I kind of want to go on to the next thing. Unless C's, you want to add on to anything we just talked about? Otherwise, we can keep it moving.
Honestly, I just have a story to kind of relate to what Nadia was talking about, because I remember, bro, forget about just men and women. Like she said in the beginning, when you're really learning how to trade and you drop that first chart, you're so vulnerable. I'll never forget. I was, you know, when I first joined I was a part of a different team. Then I found out about Trade House. You know, I found out about Smart Money and Bounce Back. And I was like, oh, shiny. So let's go. And so I'll never forget my first ever, mind you, I'm coming from a team where I would just drop a chart and no one would even question it. They would be like, okay, we're gonna copy and paste it. Like, and even when I was saying I'm looking for feedback, then I go to Trade House and they literally said, I drop a chart, you know, US30, let's just say buys, and I'll never forget homeboy. You know, shout out to my boy Ivan. I remember he was the one who did it to me. He said, nah, we're selling. He sent me not only his trade markup, but then he sent a screenshot of his active positions in already profits, break even, so protected free. And I'm just like, oh, damn. You know, like, we're here. Feel me? So, and I get that because you're so vulnerable. Like, but that generally is the moment where you start to realize, okay, this game of trading not only is really you versus yourself, but there is a lot of noise, like in any industry, you know. granted, not everybody trying to make a name for themselves, but it doesn't help your confidence when you're going ahead and dropping, a chart, looking for feedback, and people are just destroying, the confirmations that you found after hours of back testing, So I think this game really is something for those who have thick skin, who are willing to take a loss after loss, feedback, critical, what's that? Critique, right? Critique time and time again, constructive criticism, whatever. And that's why, so many traders end up leaving after 3 months, 6 months, a year, because this game is not for the weak, and especially now it's even the females are more at disadvantage because it's such a male dominated, industry, that not only do you have to deal with, your own self-confidence, but you also have to deal with, the stigma of, oh, she's a female, she doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, she's a female, let's not take her as serious. Oh, you want one-on-ones? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and one-on-one something. Feel me? Like, it is completely so. No, shout out to y'all again, because y'all really doing it, leading the way for the women, on this call, who you don't even know who you're impacting, either outwardly by just posting on social media, or even who you're gonna be impacting in the future. So I just wanted to add on with that. So fire, shout out to y'all, royalty.
Oh, let's go, royalty only. So I kind of want to like now shift a little bit the conversation and discuss more of like, what is your guys' preferred like trading techniques, strategy? What allows you guys to be the most effective in the market? You kind of want to explore that territory now, your approach on the markets. I know most people here trade SMC, but there's people who don't here, maybe, I don't know. I'm not here to judge, whatever works for you. So go ahead and, just kind of tell us like what your approach is on the market. Nadia.
Which one? Which
Oh,
one?
yeah. Oh, man. Nas.
That's
Hey, that's me. I lit. So I don't want to give away like all my sauce, because that's like for my mentorship type
what
sauce.
is Money Heist? You better. Nah, I get it. No.
And yo, wait, you're putting this on YouTube too? Nah, no.
Hey, yo, everything is already out in the world. There's no gatekeeping out here. That's why I love podcast style calls and things like that, because some people leak stuff like unconsciously. So I mean, it's all good. Do whatever, however you
Yo, you're
want to
trying to
go
get the
about it.
sauce out of me.
However you want to.
Yo.
Like
All right,
that.
I would say I'll give like my top 3 or 4, I guess. Obviously, number 1 is absolutely Wyckoff. I mean, that has been such a game changer. Those of you in here, if you know, you know. If you don't, I can teach you if you like. But first in the beginning, going through bounce back, obviously you go over the basics of smart money concepts, the difference between smart money and retail. And again, there's nothing wrong with retail necessarily. However, I've just seen personally way more results with smart money. And I know a lot of people also, have seen good results with smart money too. And again, not talking bad on retail, but anyway, so I would say my number 1 confirmation is definitely in Wyckoff, being able to study that, backtest that over and over and over again. Give me a freebie. But yeah, so Wyckoff, of course, imbalances for me has also been a very big confirmation. And the number 1 most obvious is liquidity, right? Like Jordan Morgan says, where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the money? As long as you keep asking yourself that, as soon as you pull up the charts, spot the money, spot the liquidity, it's pretty easy trade, in my opinion. And also using fibs too. I also use fibs for retracements, and a couple other things that I will not say. You can take my mentorship if you'd like.
So what is your ideal setup? If you can like just walk us through that setup, like.
Yo, really?
Hey, yo,
A through Z.
you could. You got it.
Okay. Wyckoff phase C, right? You got the test in the spring, or the spring and then the test. My textbook play would be the test, phase C on Wyckoff. Again, if you know, you know. And also imbalances above or below liquidity. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Someone asked, what time frame are your entries?
Time frame. So I am a scalper. So I look at the minute, the 5 minute, the 15, and the 30. So I trade New York Open, right? 9:30 Eastern time. I'll get up, I'll do my morning routine, right? I'll get myself ready. I'll get on the charts. I'll trade from like 9:30 to 10:30, depending on what it is that I see, Monday through Friday. And I'll scout my entries. and I'll be out within like an hour or two. And sometimes if it's in my direction, right, if we're in the markup or the markdown phase, I will let a little bit ride out. So I'm kind of working on becoming a swing trader because I do feel like the ultimate goal for traders, right, is to not be here 24/7, right? If you can get a solid trade, Caesar, if you can get a solid entry and be able to hold it for days, weeks, months at a time, I mean, and just taking profits on the way up or down, that's the ultimate goal, in my opinion.
Gas. That's gas. Straight gas right there. I think that's ultimately the goal, is getting those precise low time frame entries and taking them to swing exits. Like that's the vibes right there. But other Nadia, what's the sauce? What's your
Other Nadia, Nadia
favorite
2.0.
Nadia 2.0?
Nadia squared.
2.0?
I love you.
Nadia Squid.
Yo, you're still my
Nadia
phone
top
as that,
2.
bro.
Top 2,
I still
not
have you
2.
under 20. You will forever be my 20.
Love you.
When I love you. When it comes to strategy, all right, Caesar. When it comes to strategies, honestly, I'm not gonna talk too much about technicals because I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I've been trying different things time and time again, and right now, yeah, I'm settling into smart money and a lot what Nadia said. Number one for me, confirmation is going to be liquidity. Right after that's going to be imbalances. And I go by a lot of correlating pairs, not only like Forex pairs or indices, but also I've been looking more into stocks. So like for US30, I've been looking into QQQ and TQQ. And that's been kind of interesting because I never really thought to like dive into that, but it's been like I've been diving deeper within the past few weeks, and it's been like amazing that I added it to one of my confirmations in my trading plan now. Yeah, so I actually checked those stock pairs that correlate with US30. But you guys know I trade news. Your girl is a news trader. I'm a fundamental trader. So when it does come to taking my trades personally, entries as well are going to be on the 1 minute or the 5 minute, because news is mainly more like a scalper move for me. It's quick in and out. I'm trading a red folder event. I'm becoming well aware about what that red folder means, what that event means, right? What is behind the rates that are being released? Why is the Federal Reserve doing what they're doing? Why are they making the moves that they're making? And also just media manipulation, right? Whatever the masses are doing, what do? You do the opposite. So I'm always paying attention to news and seeing them say like the opposite of what actually happens. And it's just so crazy. But just really diving into more like FOMC focused conferences has always been like my thing. When Powell speaks and the different keywords that he drops when he moves the market, like you learn to study this man and study his body language and his verbiage, and it has been a way for me to trade news. But again, news is just the excuse. So you do need to have a technical analysis, right? So I'm not just going to go on a trade based on Powell dropping bullish words. No, I'm going to look at market structure. I'm going to look at the trend. What are we seeing? Are we seeing a change of character in the trend? And now we're going to start going in the opposite direction. Like that's what I'm really starting to take into consideration when it comes to taking my trades, because ultimately I don't want to be a fundamental trader for the rest of my life, because is based on whenever a red folder comes. And yeah, a red folder could have you set until the next red folder. But at the end of the day, I really do love this skill set. And I've been trading a little bit more New York session when there isn't any actual news event. And I've been enjoying it, enjoying the trades, enjoying the volatility, and just the way US30 moves. She's a queen on New York session. So
We love her. We love
we
her.
love her.
Oh,
Yeah.
we really do. That's fire. Yo, honestly, I like this. I like this chart work talk, but I need to see a visual, feel me? So we're going to go ahead and transition, mainly because a nigga got to pay rent tomorrow. And I know you said if you have $100, go buy some diapers, or so pretty much go pay rent or from the live account. I'm funding that live account. I need a good, I'm just going to leverage. So real quick, yo, Miss Cruz, you do talk about, I'm kind of curious, how did you go ahead and study the news, really studying Powell in depth, and then how do you see it like affecting either charts from today, because we did have FOMC, or even tomorrow with what is it, unemployment we have tomorrow? Someone
Yeah, it is unemployment tomorrow. I can share my screen. I just, fair warning, I do not know how to put my laptop on do not disturb. So notifications will be popping up.
Ayo,
So
ayo.
I don't know how
Los
safe that is,
chismes, los chismes.
but I can tell you also, number one, I don't really trade meeting minutes, because if you know what meeting minutes is, and if you don't know, I'm about to tell you anyway, it's a recap of the last federal funds rate. So if you traded the federal funds rate, even if you watched it or you back tested it, that's exactly what meeting minutes is. So exactly what happened then is what's going to happen again. So when it comes really to, I mean, honestly, meeting minutes doesn't even have any volatility. I don't know why it's a red folder, because it don't be moving. Like, it's very light. It's not really FOMC based, but when it does come, can I share my screen?
You can go ahead. And really quick, family, before she continues, make sure you stay tuned to the very end, because me and Ken will have a really special announcement for everybody locked in on this call. But please, Miss Cruz, take it away.
Okay, hold on. I wanna back test. Hold on, y'all. I don't think my laptop's ready. I have some private stuff here. Even my browser. Okay, hold on. Give me a minute.
Not the browser.
No, because my browser shows like all my apps and everything. So
It's all good.
wait, okay, hold on. Come back to me. I'm gonna pull up
come back to you.
I'm gonna pull up
clear the history and stuff, and then we.
Okay, y'all all in the chat. It's not like that.
I'm just messing around.
Stop.
All right. Nas, nasty Nas, nasty Nas. Run it up. Run up the charts.
That escalated quickly. I'm dead.
I'm dead, yo. Oh, I gotta like pose myself. Oh, we have too much fun on these, man. Oh man. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick
Yeah, I think we're gonna take a 5-minute intermission.
intermission. No, man.
Oh my god.
Bitch, I was crying. All right.
Guys, just to clear the air, first of all, it's not like that.
Hey, yo, no, we just play. No, it's not like that. We know. It's all love here.
All right, come back to me. I'm gonna get everything ready.
This episode is brought to you by Pamper.
We got Only Pips in the chat as well. Promoting, he's sponsoring this call tonight. Only Pips. Yeah, we need that merch, man. We got a collab on some merch, bro. But speaking of merch, Money Heist merch coming soon, like good quality shit. We have some fire manufacturers we're talking about. We got some designs cooking. Low key, I was talking to Vargas as well. Maybe doing some Trader House Money Heist collab. Real quick. I can like just tease it real quick. There's some light right now. Whoa, wait. I kind of want to do Letterman jackets. Can you guys see this? The images?
Yes, we can.
I kind of want to do Letterman jacket instead of the bomber, but it's something light, for a collab. There's some light right now.
Especially with the pack inside, like you got indices, some pairs.
Yeah, this is kind of like the skeleton, and we can really sauce that up. But Money Heist stuff, designs are cooking up right now. We got a designer going crazy. And C's, I don't know if should we announce the other thing right now?
Shit, we got time. Yeah, might as well.
Yeah, man, let's go.
Let's go. Want me to do it? You got it. You got it. You're so good at it.
You want me to? All right.
Please.
So, guys, how Money Heist, we're always looking to expand, just the value that we give. And it's just been something that's been in demand as well. People have been asking us every week, yo, like, where do you guys drop your trades? Bah. So me and C's were talking. We're like, yo, should we make like a chat where we can just have a community, everyone just like drop charts? Now we can drop our charts and stuff as well. So I think we may be dropping a Money Heist Discord for everybody to, just have updates on the trades that we're calling out week on these sessions. Everything will be free. It'll be a free community. So we'll just be dropping, charts, sauce in there as well. And then doing sessions. Maybe we'll add another session a week. We'll see what's good. But we're looking to just really expand the value and hey, not like that though. and just, you know, see everybody win, see everybody get funded, see everyone just maximize on the value. So C's, I don't know if you wanna add on to anything about that, man. But
Man, no, I'm just really excited because, you know, what really makes Money Heist so special week in, week out is not just me and Kevo grabbing some of the best guests that we can for y'all, but it's generally the community, right? That we've built and that you guys have just genuinely been a part of and continue to be a part of week in and week out. Because I've seen a lot of calls come and go. And one thing that I've noticed is it's not the passion from the host. They lose it. It's more so the community stops engaging with one another, even with the host. So I want you to just really create that space where we can always, you know, feel like it's generally a learning experience for everybody to, you know, ask questions side to side. So I know people even connect just through the comments. You know, they end up sending each other markups and comments on Instagram or Telegram, however they like to communicate. So I really just want to have like a one central hub for these calls because, you know, we generally do have a lot of experience from, you know, whether it's just us here on the panel or even those in the comments, you know, the viewers, you know, everywhere from beginner to intermediate to advanced as well. So I'm really excited, you know, to just continue, you know, take Money Heist, you know, for this rest of the next year into rest of this year into next and see what we can just continue to grow as a community and as, you know, a group. So this is gonna be fire. Miss Cruz, if you still need more time, Montenero, please. We'll have you go first. Yeah. We'll have Montenero go first. Because a nigga need to pay rent.
bro, y'all killing me in the chat right now. I love y'all.
I know. I muted it so that way because I can't focus.
Y'all so funny, man. Dude, this is why I love these, just bringing people together, man. The community, you guys are all amazing, bro. That's why we keep doing these. I love these calls, man. This space in general. But Miss Montero, all
You ready
the
for
floor is
some
you.
chart work here? Let me share my
Chart
screen.
work.
Let me know if you guys can see.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, you good.
Should I buy now?
I bet. I mean, that was just a little bit older, but all right. I'm gonna put you guys over here. Bet. All right, so you guys already know, right? The only pair I do trade is NAS100. And we got her on the 15th. And so I kind of want to just bring your eyes back a little bit to last week, right here. And does anyone remember what my first confirmation was? One of my biggest ones that I said? Oh, let me pull the chat again. Anybody remember?
Come on, chat. Wyckoff.
Let's see.
Yes, Wyckoff. Yes, sir.
Please.
Shout out to
Yes.
Lewis. Shout out to Kenneth. Shout out to Geraldo, my bro.
Shout out to Wyckoff, bro. We love Wyckoff. But anyway, so yes, so right here, automatically, right in my eyes, see a Wyckoff bill. So if we were to just go back to Sunday. All right, so let's kind of just do a little play-by-play on what it is that I see or what it is that I saw. Okay, so on the 15-minute, right, Nas comes down, right? She comes down again, makes that selling climax, comes back up, comes back down, and in here she starts to just consolidate, right? So immediately, one of the biggest things as far as Wyckoff, and I know I don't have time to go into a really in-depth Wyckoff trading, I'm just gonna go over like kind of briefly. So as soon as you see consolidation right off rip, I'm thinking phase B, right? Phase B of Wyckoff. Okay, so now let's play it out to now like Monday on what had happened. Okay, cool. So Monday, right at 2:30, she shoots up. And now at this point, she's looking really, really good, right? Now I'm seeing accumulation schematic number 1 at this point, right? We're in the LPS, she comes down. Now at this point here, okay, she's coming down again. After accumulation schematic number 1 or number 2, before going into the markup phase, right? What is another possibility that we could do? We can come back down to reaccumulate, right? So I'm thinking, okay, she's coming back down. Now I'm getting in for the buy. And this was around 9:30 news. And boom, just like that. So this trade, I believe, real quick, because I know it's late. My entry was the imbalance right here.
You low key could have gotten like a little reaccumulation on like the lower time frame. I feel like in that area.
Yes, no, absolutely. On a lower time frame, I mean, it just zooms in, and my take profit was above these equal highs right here. So I got back in right to that phase C test, right? It came right back, perfectly tapped into that imbalance to then go back up again for the reaccumulation. Does that make sense? And then take profit hit. Okay, so phase A is gonna be right here. Phase B is the consolidation, right? Phase C is the spring with the test here. SOS, phase D comes back to reaccumulate to then go up for the buy. So that play was strictly white call. Does that make sense? Okay, I do want to pull up like a picture just so you guys know what I'm talking about. So this is immediately what I saw. So this is the website. Feel free to utilize it. Feel free to copy paste. Feel free to study it. Feel free to print these images out, post them on your walls. They're still on my wall here. I still have them up. I still utilize them. I still go back and I look at them. But this is the white call price cycle, right? So in the market does repeat this pattern over and over and over again. And again, I don't have too much time to go into too much detail, so I'm going to go kind of quick. We have the accumulation, right? After accumulation, people think that the market goes up, down, up, down, up, down. It does not, right? The market goes up, it consolidates, then comes down, then consolidates, then goes up, and consolidates, so on and so forth. And so just by studying this right here and having this in your head, after accumulation, right, we go up into the markup phase. We then go into the distribution phase, which is the sideways move, and then come back down to the markdown phase. And so the accumulation schematic number one that I saw in the 15-minute, that's what this is right here.
Marty asked, what is your rule on max stop loss pips?
Ooh. So I fib when I catch the retracement back. So typically when I fib, I use levels 71, 78, and 886. So my stop loss is kind of in between that, giving me those 3 chances to get in. So my stop loss can be anywhere from like 10 pips to like max 19, max. So it's a pretty tight stop loss with a pretty large gain. And so when I took this trade on Monday morning during New York Open, this was around my entry right here. So this was a 1 to 9. My take profit was right above these equal highs. Stop loss was pretty tight. And boom, 1 to 9.
Tighter the stop, fatter the lot. That was a textbook play though.
Yep, that reaccumulation. Reaccumulation's it's fire. It's fire. But again, you know, my biggest tip, if you guys are interested and wanting to learn more about white call, feel free to message me. But this has been an absolute game changer. Remember I talked about that textbook play before, that phase C test? This is it right here. If you fib from the spring to right here, you can catch the retracement for that test, right? Your stop loss is based on your fib to then come up. And boom, you can catch at least a 1 to 10, 1 to 12. Last week, no, I'm sorry, the week before that, my highest risk to reward was a 1 to 30.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yo, you don't need ICT, you just need Wyckoff, man. That's it.
What is ICT? It's study from the
SMC,
source.
SMC and Wyckoff, like those two, when they have a baby, beautiful.
I mean, just go to the source, bro. Just pull up this website and study.
Facts.
That's it right there.
You don't
Yeah.
need no YouTubers. Just I promise
Ice
you.
tea?
I want iced tea.
Arizona. So pretty
I promise. Just
Arnold Palmer.
Meg, so
study.
question, Miss Montanaro. And
Yes.
I pretty much have a gist, but I want to make sure, you know, the people really understand this. No matter how you're looking at Wyckoff, it generally first has to come from market structure, giving you the confirmation that Wyckoff is forming, right? Because Wyckoff could happen anywhere on any given time frame. So it really has to be like even your stop loss, right? It's depending on market structure itself. So are you looking for more of structure confirmations to show you, okay, Wyckoff could be building and then you'll label? Or is it you're waiting for specific higher time frame, lower time frame areas and look for actual patterns, you know, along the way, if that makes any sense?
Yes. So Wyckoff happens on like all time frames. So even though this is schematic, technically number one, if I were to go to the hour, this is schematic number two. You see what I mean? She came in back down again. We got the LPS, the LPS. She didn't make the spring. She didn't make the test. So technically, on the hour, the 4 hour, it's number two. The market is fractal. So whatever you see on whatever time frame, it's essentially the same thing. It's just you're kind of zooming in. So again, when I first found out about Wyckoff, what I did was to master it and to see it over and over and over again is go to the 1 minute and just find it. Go to the 1 minute first, find the pattern over and over, back test, back test, back test. Back test is your biggest friend. If you don't know what that is and you're a trader, take a minute, learn what back testing is, learn how to back test, right? Update your trading view to the monthly so you have that tool. But first I was able to find Wyckoff patterns on the 1 minute. And then from there I went to the 5 minute. And then from there I went to the 15 minute. And then you can kind of zoom out, but the market is fractal. So essentially, on the daily, we made accumulation on the daily. So let me zoom out for a second. So if we go to the daily on NAS100, we made accumulation number one. The spring and the test was actually on my birthday, January 10th, which is cool, right? So the textbook play was technically on my birthday. So imagine, you guys build up your capital, right? You were a scalper, right? You get better entries, and over time your account gets a little bigger. Now imagine if you got in on phase C, the test, and now you're holding it for days, weeks, now you're holding it for months. Now you're just taking profit as we go because you call phase C, the test. Because you just simply knew, okay, Wyckoff patterns, I'm looking for this, right? The preliminary support, right? The selling climax, automatic rally, I'm coming back down. Phase B is pretty much just you, what's it called, consolidating, come back down again, right? Technically, these are the springs, and then the test here. So this was the test. And there is a certain individual on this call who did get in on the test. His name starts with Vargas. And he did catch that test. And so again, you guys are no different. None of us are any different. It's just the accounts get fatter, the lot sizes get fatter. And you all can absolutely, just by studying this one simple concept, can change your trading game. So I absolutely recommend, if you have not, or you have no idea what I'm talking about, to go back, study Wyckoff, pull up this website, study these patterns. They go into depth on what each phase is, right? Preliminary support, selling climax, automatic rally, secondary kind of tests, come back down, test in that area, to then consolidate again, textbook, spring, but then the market comes back again to test. The spring is technically you just chasing the low, right? That's more for advanced traders. I recommend to all my students who come in, I tell them, hey, find phase C, find that test, wait for mitigation to happen, right? The market always comes back to mitigate. It has to. They have to balance the books. It just is what it is. And let's say you got in for the test. Now we're riding it up. The market comes back to what? Mitigate again. So this is called scaling. When you get in for another position, now we're riding her up and just taking profits, of course, as you go. That makes sense? I try to sum up so much in so little time.
No, trust me, you're doing amazing. No, that was fire, because it's generally true, Once you start just noticing it, back testing it, thoroughly not just, just our 1 bar replay, play it out and then done. Generally getting to know the characteristics, the movements, and then the why behind it all. No, yeah, it really can become your best friend on given time frame, on what type of trader you are. Swingers on higher, scalpers on lower. This was fire. So real quick before we get Miss Cruz on, do you have anything for mañanas, please? Mañana specific.
I know you're gonna ask me. You're such a schemer, bro. I'm just playing. Let's see. Tomorrow, well, first let's check news, right? Miss Cruz told us that she utilizes news a lot. I do pay attention to news, not crazy amount, but it does help me get an extra confirmation, I guess you could say, if I see Wyckoff first, right? Wyckoff and imbalances. So what's tomorrow? The 18th? No, wait, today's 17th. So 8:30 Eastern time. So we do have news. Cruz can definitely go into this. I'm not too familiar as far as like the names and what each news is. I'm not too familiar. I know Cruz can definitely teach us what unemployment claims are, unless it's self-given. But if we go back here, so right now I am currently in a buy, and in a sense, I saw the spring. Right, we do have some consolidation here, right? Preliminary support could possibly be here, selling climax, automatic rally, a little bit of consolidation, to then come down and possibly give us a spring, right? That's just kind of what I'm seeing. And so I'm in a buy right around here currently. And so she might come back possibly to mitigate again, to then keep going and give us a bullish behavior. Just because this to me is the markdown phase, right? So if we go back to the price cycle, I'm seeing this to come back down.
We also just tagged a 4-hour imbalance as well.
4-hour imbalance. Let's see.
Literally like the 50% of that imbalance just got filled. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a nice little bounce from there.
So yes, we do have a little bit of like different terminology. So imbalance, yes, it's technically this. But for me, one thing that Vargas taught me was an imbalance for us is kind of like the opening of the candle before the big move up. So technically, like this would be my imbalance. So this is a point that I know the market's going to come and touch back. I just dropped major sauce. If you got that, you got that. If you didn't, Kevin will be getting me to like spill the beans.
Yeah. I mean, shit. It's stuff that we've already talked about probably on these sessions. But
I hope so. I mean, Jordan Morgan talks about it in his sessions too.
Yeah, we all learn from the same source. So,
but yeah,
I mean, yeah, everyone has their own way. That's a cool thing about trading is like everyone, like the stuff that maybe me and C's teach, like someone might not resonate with it, and they might resonate with like you more or whoever more, right? So that's the cool thing about trading. Everyone has like similar approaches but different styles, and I think once you kind of get like the right little puzzle pieces, you can then start making like your own like I guess masterpiece with the pieces that you pick up. For sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Everyone has their own thing, but I think over time you just take what you figure works for you and kind of build your own.
Exactly.
Your own combination of this, so.
I think that's the problem some people have sometimes is like they have just over, analysis paralysis. Like they're trying to learn every single thing that they could possibly learn, and it's just like, dude, just grab a few things, start back testing, forward testing it, and then collect the data. And then if you have something that creates an edge for you, just run with it. You don't need like everything. I think that's what keeps people, like, holds people back is they want to know everything and they're not fucking taking action on that shit they already learned. So yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, you want to keep it simple, man. Keep it super simple.
I'm seeing continued buys for tomorrow for news.
Sheesh, let's grow. Miss Montanero, we appreciate you. And so I know you said don't buy, but I bought, so I'm in it too. Instant profits, baby. Let's grow. I fucking just FOMO, reflection.
Yay.
Yeah, no, I'm joking. Don't do that. Cool. Miss Cruz.
Let's get it. We're ready.
Let's go.
She hit all the only tip stuff.
Yes, and also I'm not gonna take too long because my mom just texted me that baby boy woke up. So I'm gonna run this through real quick.
Perfect timing.
Montero, as always, does an incredible job at breaking down technical analysis. And honestly, she inspires me every single day to learn Wyckoff. I have not learned Wyckoff yet. I'm gonna be very transparent. Have not. Me and Wyckoff, don't know him too well. But she inspires me. And honestly, before I get into anything news related, I always like to say, get your technicals right. Don't just dive into news. It's not worth it. It's not worth what you're gonna do to yourself and all the shadow work you're gonna have to do to get yourself back in the right place to be the trader that you all want to be. Because if you're on this call, you're looking to be the best version of yourself as a trader, right? So what are we going to do? We are going to back test FOMC because that's my sauce. That's my tea. So hold on. Let me share my entire screen, not just Powell. Okay. Just to make sure you guys could see Forex Factory and the press conference, right?
Perfect.
Cool. All right, so we're going back to July 26th because that was the last FOMC press conference. So usually what happens when there's a press conference is 30 minutes before is when the federal funds rate and the statement gets dropped. The statement, I don't really necessarily trade the 2 p.m. folder only because you definitely can. And I probably could have, I just personally don't, because I actually wait for the manipulation move that's going to happen during the conference, right? Because if we know, we know, what do the banks want to do, right? They're always going to pull the market in the opposite direction so that they can capitalize the most off the moves off these events, right? So what I really trade is 2:30, but what I like to pay attention to is the 2 o'clock moves. I like to see how the market moves so that I can determine what my 2:30 on the dot snipe is going to be. So I want to back test this with you guys, but I really want you guys to pay attention to, why can't I get this? Sorry. Pay attention to the way that Powell speaks and his body language. So in the beginning of this conference, and we're not going to watch the whole thing because I wish we could watch the conference together for 40 minutes, but we don't got enough time. But I do remember this conference. I do remember the trade I took for this conference. 2:30, I took sells. At 2 p.m., we're going to see market buy with the statement, the federal funds rate. However, what you're going to see is that when Powell begins to speak, he actually pushes the market a little bit further up, right? So at this point, retail traders are, what are they thinking, right? Buys, buys, buys. Everyone's pushing buys, buys. He's about to move the market. No, obviously, we're going to do the opposite of what he's doing. So in the middle of the conference, he actually shifts tones. And in the beginning, he's very hesitant, very serious, kind of like just matter of fact, like this is what it is. You're gonna hear it. This is what it is. And unfortunately, the economy, we're gonna see some hurt, right? We're gonna see some hurt. The middle class is gonna really, really get hit hard. And then towards the middle of the meeting, when they start to have questions, he starts to speak about the plan. What is the plan that the Federal Reserve has moving forward, right? Knowing all of this, knowing that our economy is going to hurt, knowing that, potentially there will be no middle class because we will suffer so much. At that point, when the questions start coming and he starts speaking of a plan, he starts speaking a little bit more hopeful, right? His mannerism changes, his body language changes. He's kind of like standing up more straight and speaking more matter of fact, right? And what I really like about this is, obviously you want to go in with technical analysis, but I kind of like that manipulation that the Federal Reserve does. I want to catch that manipulation. So although market was buying, when he started to shift into the questions, so the correlation that goes bullish, his bullish words create a strong dollar and his bearish words create a weak dollar, right? So negative words, weak dollar, positive words, strong dollar. Pretty easy to remember, right? If you know, dollar correlates to US30, right? They're the complete opposite. So if dollar is healthy and dollar is rising, what is US30 doing? US30 is dumping. Has anyone dropped some 222s in the chat while I get this started if you've watched an FOMC press conference and traded live at the same time? I want to see one more traded live. Okay. All right. Oh, cool. We got some heads here. All right. But so I'm going to play a little bit of the beginning just so you can kind of understand what I mean by the verbiage. But in the meantime, I want you to watch what I mean, where market was clearly heading into one direction, but then he shifts the market to then what? Stop people out, stop out your retail traders. And also, there's also just many other things to cause the market to go down. There's liquidity that you're going to see there being left behind. You're going to see imbalances that have yet to be filled. So obviously the manipulation is going to come down to fill that. So we're going to watch. We're going to start at 2 p.m. just so you guys can see what I mean about, obvious market structure moving into a buy. So then you guys can see the shift to the sell. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
That benefit all. Since early last year, the FOMC has significantly tightened the stance of monetary policy.
Wait,
Today, we took another step by raising our policy interest rate a 1/4 percentage point, and we are continuing to reduce our securities holdings at a brisk pace. We've covered a lot of ground, and the full effects of our tightening have yet to be felt. Looking ahead, we will continue to take a data-dependent approach in determining the extent of additional policy firming that may be appropriate. I'll have more to say about monetary policy after briefly reviewing economic developments.
okay. So let's just talk a little bit about what just happened right there. Obviously, we can tell his mannerism. He's very like straight to the point, like, you know, we're going to talk about monetary policies and everything, but the damage that's been done is extent. Like, they don't even know where to begin when it comes to recovering this economy at this point. And we know this, right? We know this. We are part of that percentage of people that know this. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit and then maybe hopefully even find the timestamp.
Yo, this is fire. Not gonna lie, I like this.
I love when
This
Powell
is dope.
speaks. When Powell speaks, okay. So let's get into some questions while we watch the actual sell then happen to pretty much re-entry for a buy at that point. Because after news ends, what does the market move? The market goes up within the next few days after that manipulation. So let's go ahead and watch that play out.
It's weak. And I would just say it's broadly in condition, consistent with what you would expect. You've got lending conditions tight and getting a little tighter. You've got weak demand, and you know it gives a picture of pretty tight credit conditions in the economy. I think it's really hard to tease out how much of that is from this source or that source. But I think what matters is the overall picture is of tight and tightening lending conditions, and that's what this loose will say.
Okay,
Yo,
so you
this is
guys
gonna-
hear, yes, you hear how firm he is, right? Yes, this tightening that's happening is affecting us. It's going to affect our middle class. It's going to affect the majority of the population. However, this tightening is beneficial to us in the long run, right? So now we're shifting into more positive lingo, positive verbatim. I'm just going to play this really fast. So, because now that you see that the re-entry happened, right, for a buy, let's just see what market ends up doing within the next few days. So you're going to see a little bit of consolidation after news. Market kind of doesn't know what to do, like what's happening. But then what happens, right? Right there, honestly, within that time frame from when you could have re-entered is pretty badass in my opinion. On the 5 minute, that's all I trade. Like I said, I'm a scalper. I'm not trying to I guess it'd be cool to hold trades here and there, but like, yeah, I'm really just trying to be in and out, like, peace, see you guys next week type shit. But yeah, I just wanted you guys to really just see that firsthand. Montero really killed it with the technicals. Back test news. If you want to trade news, back test news, it's cool. If you feel very comfortable with your technical analysis, go back test news, specifically Powell speeches, because over time you will learn, like any relationship with anyone, right? You're going to learn their mannerisms, their behavior, their body language, the way they speak, and also understanding the Federal Reserve, reading the reports that are dropped and understanding where they're headed, right? They drop all these reports for you that I'm scared to open up another tab. I don't want nothing about. So if you just go on bls.gov, it is a public website that anybody has access to. Stop laughing. Anybody has access to this website. It's a free website, and all the reports that are dropped on the red folders in Forex Factory that have to do with the Bureau, pretty much, it's all on there, guys, and you guys all have access to it. So go read a report. Stop laughing, Kevo.
Yo, I'm smiling. I'm sorry. You guys make me happy.
BLS.gov. And yeah, guys, just backtest news, because over time you'll learn. And honestly, backtesting Powell in specific has really adapted me to him as a person and how he manipulates the market, because at the end of the day, what do they want? They want the money. So I want the monies too, though. But that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh, that was dope. I like that. That was super, super dope. Where did you learn like all this stuff? Like,
Damn. Okay. So
I don't see many people like kind of with that
yeah,
approach.
I mean, so I'm gonna be very transparent. There is a very successful female trader. Honestly, she still inspires me to this day. Who really got me interested in US30 and news. Natalia Salinas. She's definitely a beast trader. And when it comes to news, Shardy knows what she's talking about. So she really inspired me. And over time, I built friendships and relationships with people who helped pour into my education when it came to news and putting me on to different YouTubers and stuff. And I also did my own deep dives into YouTubers. And I know YouTube, but at the end of the day, when it comes to news, there's not really much information out there. However, the stock traders out here in the world trade heavy on news, obviously, because stocks, right? You need to be very well aware of the stock that you're trading, what the company is doing, so on and so forth. And if you know what US30 is, it's the 30 large blue chip companies. So if you know what those companies are doing and what those stocks are doing, then you know what US30 is doing. So I started listening to more people like that and just following people who were the same as me, wanting to know more about the economy. To put you guys onto some YouTubers real quick, Ricky Gutierrez, he's dope. Clear Value Tax, he's fire. So Clear Value Tax, he's not necessarily a trader, but what he does is he actually goes over the reports and simplifies it to the average person so that we can really understand what those reports mean and how they will affect the economy. And obviously, if you know how it affects the economy, you know how it affects dollar, you know the deal from there. And then another one I believe is Trade with Nick or something like that. He's pretty fire too.
Nice. Yeah, news is excuse. Like I'm sure a lot of
And
you guys
watching news, you got to watch news too. Like
100%.
yeah, you got to watch news.
You know, everyone, you know, I know some people they do what you do as well, and I think that's a really cool approach. You know, my approach is a little different. I kind of just like wait for like manipulation, like I wait for them to show their hand and then kind of like respond to that. But shit, man, y'all are deadly duo, no cap. Like you guys really brought the fucking sauce tonight, for sure, man. But C's, man, you want to do the honors? Wrap up the call. Final words. Actually, wait. Before we end the call, I want to do something really quick. Really quick. I want to do a rapid five, right? It's gonna be fast. So I'm gonna ask you each one of you guys 5 questions. You guys gotta answer it with like 5 words or just less than like 30 seconds. So let's do it. Let's get it.
First word that comes to mind: trading zucchini. What? I don't know. Keep going.
What? Zucchini? All right, bet. Let's do Miss Montero first. So final 5 is gonna be rapid. Boom. So number 1, what is the best advice that you have ever received?
In general, or like trading?
In general, trading, whatever. Best
The
advice you've
best-
ever received.
The best advice I've ever received.
Trade Wyckoff.
Best advice I've ever received. Keep your word.
Okay. Dang, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, cool. Number 2, what's the worst advice you've ever received?
Be realistic.
Dang, I like that. That's fire. Number 3, what's the one thing that you're trying to learn and develop right now?
Discipline.
Boom. Number 4, what's the one thing that you think other people value that you don't?
Ooh, never been asked that one. One thing that people value that I don't.
Me is Crocs.
Bro, I just said that about
I was thinking like deeper meaning, not like
No,
um
it don't gotta be that deep. It can be
okay.
deep, whatever you
But I
want.
don't know. Yeah. One thing people
My thing is, no, actually, it doesn't matter.
one thing people value that I don't.
Love
I
you.
guess like hype
Mm.
and just
Ooh,
like wanting to prove something, social media, you know, the fancy stuff when you're like not the most best person in real life. You know, so it's like you're valuing the wrong things
damn.
in a sense.
No, that's
That's one thing that I see a lot that really irks
That's
me.
the one I think right now. That's huge in this era, our generation for sure. And then number 5 and the last, if you can create one law in the world that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
Always lead with love.
Always leave with love. I love that. I love that. Shit. All right, Miss Cruz.
Fire.
All right, number 1.
Damn, that was bars. I don't know if I could amount to that. Okay.
Now you gotta top that. You topping it right now. Number
Yeah.
1. What's the best advice you've ever received? No
Stay
pressure.
true to yourself.
Stay true to yourself. I love that. Authenticity, 100%, 100%. Number 2, what is the worst advice?
Fuck that Forex shit. Don't trade it.
Hey,
For fact.
yes, sir. Yes, yo. Number 3, what's the one thing that you're trying to learn and develop right now?
Myself into the next version of me. I'm
Okay,
really trying to figure out who she is. Dope.
we love that. Number 4 is, what's the one thing that holy shit, what's the one thing that you think other people value that you don't?
Giving people more than 3 chances.
Okay.
And more than
okay.
a second chance.
You think people give people more, like, too many chances?
Yeah, I've been told multiple times, like, or not even just people, like things that are not serving you. Like, just give it another chance. Just give it another chance. If it's not serving me, don't feed into it.
Nah, fast. Cut that bitch. All right, number 5. If you could create one law in the world that everyone had to follow, what would it be?
Don't let a dark soul turn your heart cold. Don't. Like, that's gonna be a law for real. Like, don't ever let someone get the best of you. That's a law. No one can do that. If you do that, you're kicked out of my country.
That's
You
so
send them up, lock them up. All right, yo. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, ladies, queens. Appreciate your time. Those are amazing responses, answers. The value was top notch, top tier. See, do your thing, bro.
Gosh, yo, Familia, we appreciate every single one of y'all for staying locked in all the way to the very end. Man, it is midnight 32 over here on the East Coast. We're going to go ahead and wrap things up, mainly because we know y'all got some back testing to do, whether it's with the white golf or the news or even just developing your strategy. Because some of y'all just like Vargas said, practice on game day. So we're not probably passing front of the accounts with that. But yo, family, it's an absolute pleasure. Queens, it was an absolute pleasure. This is not only the longest money heist, but the most valuable. Sorry, Vargas, top 2, but they ain't number 2. Feel me? This is absolutely, I had a lot of fun with this, and I can't wait to have you guys back again. Maybe even more open panel. We got even more traders, and we really just get to talk, shoot shit with each other, and be more interactive with the crowd or anything like that. So, Familia, one more time, I am going to go ahead and drop the Discord link. Please make sure to tap in. Any questions with White Golf, please make sure to reach out to Montanero. She definitely has the sauce, the mentorship available for you guys. And please, any questions with news, with, just try to understand our favorite sugar daddy, right, Powell, please reach out to Miss Cruz. But without a shadow of a doubt, guys, above all else, as you go ahead and trade and backtest your journey, please be patient, be disciplined, and the gains will come. See y'all next week, family. Peace.